Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Making Sense. I'm Tony Hill. Hey, friends and family. What's going on, my YouTube family? Hey, I told you I was going to be coming back to you with another video on uh, the analysis of the trade lines. But hey, let me just say this real quick. I just want to thank you guys for shooting me emails, asking me about my health. January 13th, I had a cardiac arrest for you who don't know. And I just want to say, man, you guys are incredible. Thanks to my YouTube friends and family. Appreciate it. You guys drop some really nice comments. Uh, Say I look good. I appreciate that. I'm very fortunate to be alive. And I know everybody asks about my voice. I think my voice is probably 80-90% back. It was a struggle at first, but it's almost there. So I just wanted to say thanks. Appreciate the comments and the emails. Hey, look, before I jump into this video, you know what to do. Smash the like button. That helps the algorithm on my channel. Hit the notification bell for upcoming content. Make a comment if you like. And share this with your friends and family. Like I always say, don't keep this to yourself. Share with your friends and family. Help them. Help you. And then most of all, subscribe to my channel. So hey, thanks for being back with me again. So look, if you didn't see the first video, I would suggest that you see that one first. I'll put that down in the description of this video if you saw it out of rotation. But so I did analysis 1 and 2, and there was this great study done actually from Superior Tradeline. And Miss Shackelford did this study, 860 participants. So I'm kind of breaking it down for you, giving you a little info, and then giving you my 2 cents and a little bit of my 35 years experience with credit and how trade lines, authorized user trade lines have worked for me. But I tell you, to my surprise, this is very impactful because a few things that I thought I knew, actually, the study actually is contrary to what I was thinking or what I've learned over many years. So I think this is going to be very beneficial for you, and hopefully you'll get some out of this video. Stay with me to the end. Don't click off too quick because you're going to miss some really good info. So look, here we go. So hey, look. So analysis 3, the average increase given some credit to start with. Oh yeah, before I forget, I wanted to show you guys this. You guys were with me on the last video, and I was talking about no credit, little to no credit. And I told you about my son. I always try to show you guys proof because I know you guys be like, what? So remember, I kind of thought the scores, but I was a little off on the scores. But this was one of my son, graduated college. I put him on a trade line. Look at the score, 719, experience, 741, 760, okay? And remember I told you that trade line was less than 3,000. It was a $1,600 trade line. I had $9 on there, okay? $1,600 trade line, okay? And but look at the scores. And my son went on to, anyway, he went on to get his own credit card. He got a $3,000 limit. And if you watch that first video, I kind of go over a little bit more of that, which is a good idea. So, but I figured I'd drop that to you because I know you guys was like, hey, you said just wanted to show it to you. But look, back to analysis 3. Average increase given some credit to start with. Analysis 3 study the impact of trade lines on credit score change for participants who had a pre-existing credit file. 809 participants were included who had a credit score before an addition of the authorized users' trade lines. It was found that the average credit score change was 30 points for Experian, 36 points for Equifax, and 40 points for TransUnion. The average change in credit scores across all three bureaus was 35 points. This average increase is minor compared to the average score increase for those with no credit file. 93.6 of the participants in the study started with some credit score. Thus, this is a more appropriate figure to apply to most situations. So look, the thing about it is that a lot of you folks are going to have a file. Like I said in my previous video, if you look at to increase your score, once again, I would not go in with collections, late payments. And look, and some of us going to have those. I've had them in the past myself. I totally get it. But in the process of buying a trade line, I would make sure those things are at least old, and I would try to get rid of the collections. Try not to do this with bad credit. And I think when you talk to superior trade lines, they will encourage you not to waste your money as far as if you have really bad credit, because they're going to tell you it's not going to help you a whole lot just knowing those guys over there. So look, here's the thing. I'm going to show you this, guys. And see, a lot of you might be saying, "Oh my goodness, the average score here is only 35 points on the bureaus with information is the same. Whether I buy one or multiple trade lines, that could be the case. But you got to keep in mind, where you're going. Fair, and this is FICO scoring. This is not Vantage. Okay, Vantage starts at higher, but FICO's range is different than Vantage 3.0, which is Credit Karma and some of the other scores that you see out there. FICO, they always say 90% of the lenders use this score. I say 100% of the lenders use the score. Until someone else show me that you can get finance on something with Vantage 3.0 scores alone. So until that happens, FICO, baby. So anyway, look. So you could go from a fair score to a good score very, very, very quickly. So let's say you had a 650, and you got a 20. You bought a trade line, or however you got the trade line, you bumped 20 points. That gives you a good credit score. Let's say if you had a 725, you got 20 points, bumps you to a 740. Now you got a very good score, so on and so on, same with the exceptional. And I just dropped this. I did a video not too long ago. I was talking about credit unions, and I said the credit union's sweet spot is at 665 to 680, 690. And so be mindful of that. Sometimes 30 points is a huge deal. And also, too, I just wanted to drop this because I get a lot of new clients. And for some reason, you guys have not gotten your experience boost. And the first thing I hear people say, "Oh, I didn't think it was a whole lot of points." Well, I mean, it ranged from 12 to 25 points. Every little bit helps, folks. So, that's free. Also with eCredible, which is basically for TransUnion, as long as you don't have any negative utility bills, get that boost from eCredible. Did a video on eCredible also. But yeah, take it as you can get it. And look, and if you have to buy a trade line, realize the score that you need to. You can research the lender that you're going to applying for, what score is needed. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. Moving on, average increase explained. There are many explanations why these clients saw significant similar increases in their scores. First and foremost, the lowest FICO score is 350. If clients receive any increase in score, they would see at least 350 points. This is an unrealistic expectation for anyone whose credit score is above 500, since the perfect FICO score is 850. Additionally, the trade lines added to their reports were no longer the only factor determining the credit score. Instead, they were among many. Since each trade line contributes to the credit score, having multiple accounts would lessen the impact of new trade lines. Lessen the impact. Understand that. Multiple trade lines. Finally, it was impossible to guarantee that each account on the participant's report was in good standing. Only that the authorized users trade lines added were guaranteed to be in good standing. Recent negative factors like late payments or collections can negate the benefit of adding a trade line to a report. Clients who had credit files prior to the trade lines were more likely to have negative factors on their reports. This could be why the average improvement in the credit score is limited here. So I just want to show you this. This is a really good chart that they have. Scroll down here. So this is before and after. And look, I mean, you might say, "Oh, that's not a big deal." But folks, you could be going from a tier, 2 to a 1, 4 to a 3, 3 to a 2. And if you don't know what I'm talking about as far as tier goes, the lower the tier, the better the rate. So 20 points could be huge, 30 points could be huge. But if you look here, you might say, well, that's not a huge difference. A 655 to a 619, 620, 650, 624, 664. But those are big differences because, once again, when you look at your chart, look at where range you are. These are not so much because they all fall under fair for the most part. But once again, I'm not sure what the variables were. If they had a late or whatever the case may be, that was done in the study. And sure enough, the study also admits that they're not sure on that issue also. So just make sure you're aware of that, okay? But the thing about it is that I think this is probably not mostly the norm. And then also too, be mindful that there's other things you can do with your credit. And check out a couple of my videos, things that you could do to add to the positive impact of your credit on some of the videos that I have. So moving on, let's go to analysis 4. Average increase per line. The number of trade lines added to the individual report can significantly impact the credit score change. More trade lines often result in a larger credit file. Easy for you to say. Lower utilization and increase in the average age of accounts. Analysis 4 analyzed the score change individuals who purchase 1, 2, or 3 trade lines to isolate this factor. The addition of more than 3 trade lines is complex. Further, it is rarely beneficial to an individual to add more than 3 trade lines to the file. Because of this, participants were never added to more than 3 authorized user trade lines at one time. So it's probably not beneficial to buy more than 3 because you're wasting your money. Analysis finding. One trade line had an average increase of 86 points to Experian, 66 points to Equifax, 73 points to TransUnion. 2 trade lines had an average increase of 170 points to Experian, 110 to Equifax, and 120 points to TransUnion. Third trade line had an increase of 170, 160 to Equifax, 186 to TransUnion. As you can see, the addition of multiple trade lines can have a beneficial effect. The average score increase in addition of 1 trade line was 75 points. 2 trade lines result in an increase of 135. 3 trade lines result in an increase of 172. However, it is not a linear progression. There are diminishing returns on the credit score due to the addition of multiple trade lines. Many people believe that more trade lines will always result in a higher score. However, it is essential to note that the quality, not the number of trade lines, is critical. When adding trade lines for credit improvement, context matters. The impact of trade line will depend substantially on the information that is already on the credit report. The second analysis we ran showed the individuals assigned 1 trade line had the highest average starting credit score. Those who were given 2 trade lines had the second highest starting score, followed by those who were assigned 3 trade lines. The higher the score, the higher the starting score, the more difficult it is to improve the credit score drastically. The participant who ordered 3 trade lines started with the lower average score. Thus, they would have more room for improvement to hit the same score as those given 1 trade line. This is one reason that the clients who ordered 3 trade lines saw a large increase, of course, than those who ordered 2. Interestingly, the ending credit score for all individuals was within 10 points for Equifax, 32 points for Experian, and 23 points for TransUnion. Despite how many trade lines were ordered, this implies a theoretical cap on the benefit that the trade line can provide to the credit score. Because of this, an individual specific situation should be considered when determining how many trade lines to add to their credit. Let me scroll down here for you and show you this chart. Well, I'm sorry, I'm on that chart. So once again, just want to mention that. Look, I mean, if you have an existing account, sure, this could be it. But also to recognize, we don't know if it was 1, 2, or 3 trade lines added. And one thing I think about, the guys at Superior Trade Lines are very good at, and yes, I'm an affiliate, and I'll have a link down below that you can click. And when you talk to Mike, tell him Tony sent you. So, but anyway, the thing about it is that because you may purchase 1, 2, or 3, it really depends on where your credit starts from. And as you heard, of course, if you have a lower score, you're going to probably see more increase. And I think sometimes people, and look, I mean, one example that I did in a previous video, I think was the score, it was a 685 going to and it was like a 20-point increase. So if you look here, if it was 20 points, let's say you had a 720, 20 points should get you to a 740, so on and so on. If you have a 660, 20 points or 10 points could get you to a 670, which changes your FICO score from a good. It could go from a good to a very good to an exceptional, so on and so forth. So be mindful of that. Realize that trade lines are powerful. I mean, sometimes it's funny because I'll get a client, they're fighting, doing everything they can for their credit. And I'll say, have you thought about an authorized user? Because, they don't really have any late payments on there. Utilization might be a little high, and I tell them, pay utilization down, no charge. But, and then, give the guys a call, give the guys send them an email or a text regarding a trade line that you like to purchase, and they'll, with their expertise, they'll steer you to the best trade line that's going to benefit you. So, look, once again, check out the link. Check out those guys at Superior Trade Line. This is an incredible study. Like I said, even some stuff that I didn't know, and more to come. I got, I think, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and those are going to blow you away as far as what's in those. But hopefully you got something out of this video. I'm going to shut it down. I try to make my videos shorter. I could have did all of these together and probably been an hour plus. That's a lot to sit through. So I'm breaking it up this way. You guys know what it is. Tony Yo, making sense of credit. Until the next video, be good and be safe.